Class, welcome to the introduction to the time value of money. And our goal today is to understand this idea of time value of money and to solve a set of problems using the time value of money equation. So, fundamental question: do you want this wad of money now, or do you want this exact same amount of money next year? I don't know about you, but if I had a choice between any amount of money now and any exact same amount of money in the future, I would choose to get that money now. Why? Because I'm impatient. I'm a little bit greedy. And there's things that I can do. I have all kinds. I've got a great imagination for how I can spend money. I could buy a bunch of needlessly expensive watches. I could go traveling. I could even do something practical with it. I could invest it and make more money. I can, if I have to wait, I can't do those things. And this leads us to a fundamental point that money today is more valuable to us than money tomorrow. If I have to be patient, well, there is a price that I am going to have to pay to be patient. That price of patience is what we call an interest rate. We accept waiting with a cost to it because we don't want to be patient. So, in other words, you've heard the old phrase, a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. That essentially is this idea of the time value of money, that money today is more valuable than money tomorrow. And what's interesting about that is it allows us to predict just how much more valuable money has to be today for it to be an equivalent in value in the future. And that's a simple equation looking at basically three things. What is the current amount of money that we have? What is the interest rate? And we can think of interest as a price for our patience. And how much time we are waiting. Let's give this a shot. It sounds more complicated than it is. So you've earned $100,000 last year. You could spend it all. You could blow it on, I don't know, video games and whatever it is that you're into. Or you can put it into an account and not touch it for 10 years. And if you do that, your price of patience, your interest rate is 8% per year. That's how much this $100,000 will grow. How much money will you have in 10 years? Well, let's plug these values in. So our interest rate is 8%. And as we always remember, to convert a percent to a decimal, we have to move the decimal like Beyonce to the left, and plug that into our formula. So 1 plus 0.08 is equal to 1.08. It's really important that you move the decimal two spaces. 1.8 would mean that you've got an 80% interest rate as opposed to 8. If you've got 80% interest rate, well, then you would be a billionaire in no time. So 1.08 to the 10th power, we say 10 power because we're in this example, it's 10 years. And we're going to multiply our principal, our present value of $100,000 by this 2.15. My calculator gave me several more decimal points, but I didn't need to use those. And the actual value, I made a mistake here. I didn't move the decimal far enough. The actual answer is $215,894.90 something cents. So essentially, $100,000 now is worth the equivalent of $215,894 10 years from now. That's the price of our patience. Is it worth it? Well, that's a subjective value question, but essentially this is how wealth gets built. With time and patience, wealth gets built. If you can deny yourself present pleasure by investing that whatever amount of money that you have over a set amount of time, it will grow by a certain amount. So let's try it on our own. So we're going to use different values and say you've inherited $200,000 and you're going to invest it at a lower interest rate at 6% per year. So how much can you withdraw? How much will this $200,000 be worth in 15 years?